Hi everyone, it's October again. So I just wanted to do a quick little video on my herb cabinet and some of the stuff that I have in here right now, since it is probably the easiest thing to show with a kind of destroyed house with the flooding here in Minnesota at the moment. So up here on the top shelf is where I keep a lot of my resins and stuff. So I have a Papanax, which is also known as sweet myrrh. I use it in place of myrrh, specifically because I like the smell of it better. It has as the name says, a much sweeter smell. And here I keep my amber. So I have a small amount of amber resin that I use for special occasions. I have little oils here for an oil blend that I am currently working on. And I have some Capet incense in this jar here that is probably actually no, this isn't Capet. This is actually a incense that I made a while ago. It is a prophetic incense made with wild lettuce and honey and copal and benzoin mixed with water from the well in Delphi, which is also known as where the oracles lived. So that is what is in here. I also have frankincense and copal in here. I have some oak moss that is soaking in bourbon in there for a incense that I make for Hades. This is a infused vodka that I am making for Beltane, and it is hibiscus and ginger and cinnamon. It's going to be super tasty. I have labdanum soaking in oil because I love the smell of labdanum, but it's hard to work with because it is super sticky. Normally it looks like this, and as you can see, it is very sticky. I would open it to show you, but I don't feel like washing my hands after I touch it. I have rosemary and some bay leaves, some damiana, and chamomile in the back. More empty jars because empty jars are a witch's best friend. And here I have some mugwort that I am steeping and tincturing. It probably could be strained at this point. I plan on making what is known as a spagyric out of it. So once it steeps, you strain out the solids, and then you calcine the solids, which is basically turning them into white ash, and then you re-add the white ash back into the liquid, and that is known as a spagyric. It is a alchemical tincture. Down here I have some honey that I use for different things. I have a little jar of oak moss absolute that I continue to add oil to. I don't know why I have this here, actually, but I'm going to leave it. In this jar I have some fly agaric mushrooms that have been dried that my friend collected for me. Ginger root in the back, some peppermint, rose hips, lavandin, which I prefer to use over lavender, just because I prefer the way that it smells and the way it tastes if you're using it in any kind of edible. Galangal, which is kind of similar to ginger, but slightly different. And then mugwort, which is my favorite herb to work with. And then this jar is filled with a bunch of oak moss. This is more of that prophetic incense that I was referring to. I need to roll these up and put them in containers. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. They're pretty stiff at the moment, so it may be a little more difficult to do that, but I'll get around to it. My little teapot for making infusions, and then this section is probably going to be a little hard to see, so I'm going to try to see if I can get some light in here for you. But this is where I keep all of my oils. So I have some Nag Champa in the back. That is an oil from my neophyte right within Blue Star. Some generic oils, and then a bunch of scented oils, and a few essentials. I have a Terra Shield from doTERRA, which I use to repel insects. It works great. Some cinnamon. And then I have all of my carrying oils back there. And then a bunch of other oils up here, which are a mix of fragrance and true essential oils. I have a bergamot, a vetiver, a lotus flower essence. One of my mortars. I have a much larger one down here that I use for things. And then here is where all of the extras live. So as you can see, it is packed full. I often have more herbs on hand than anyone really needs in their life. This is an entire pound of lemon verbena from Mountain Rose Herbs, which is where I often get a lot of my herbs because a lot of their stuff is organic and wildcrafted. And then this is from a local pagan shop nearby. And this is all oak moss, which is one of my favorite smelling things on the entire planet. If I had to describe the smell of oak moss, it would be sweaty trees. It's basically the best way to describe it. Okay, this is where I keep all of my extras. I do make and sell incenses as well. And I do have a shop on Facebook, but I don't really do a whole lot. I don't really have a lot of stuff that's already pre-made. A lot of it is all made to order. But the shop is Crossroads Apothecary. And so I do set a lot of made to order stuff. Usually if people have like a thing that they need incense made for, I do have a couple of pre-made blends, but I also make those to order. I don't keep anything on stock pre-made, except for Capet, which I do make in large batches and then sell, just because it is such a time-consuming incense to make. It involves a lot of things go into making one batch of Capet, that it is just easier to make a large amount of it at once, because I have to make and blend together a ton of ingredients to get this, and then this has to get mixed with wine and honey and oil and dried fruit, and then I have to wait for that to dry after I roll it out into balls or squares or however I decide to package it. It just takes so much time. So I usually do a large batch and then sell that. I'm actually doing a class on making Capet at Paganicon this year. So if you are interested in learning more about that, definitely come to Paganicon sometime. Or if you are wondering about Paganicon at all, let me know. I'm going to be doing a video on Paganicon this year, so you'll get to follow along with my adventures there. You might get to meet a few people from my grove if they decide they want to come on camera, who knows. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk and give you a little update and show some of my room that I can at the moment. Once I'm able to show more, I'll give you like a full tour of my room and my witchy stuff. But until then, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!